Welcome back to Alicia K Lifestyle. My name is Alicia and I'm glad you're here. Let's make something pretty. So, it may look like I haven't posted a video on YouTube since February. It may look like that, but I've been active in the shorts and on the community tab, okay? I apologize though, because I know we're about to talk about the March monthly sewing project and it is September. I know that, okay? I've just been busy, but I'm back and I'm ready to talk about it. I'm so ready to talk about this, okay? But before we get into that, let me tell you what I have on today. So I have on this Kelly Green, I think it's a newsboy cap. I think that's the proper name for it, from the place where I got actually all three of these hats from. What is it called? It's a place out in Australia, and now they have a distribution center in California. Lack of Color. That's where I get the majority of my wide brimmed hats, but this is the first time that I got a newsboy cap, and it's fully lined in satin, so I like that. A lot. This white top is from Amazon. Best apparel purchase I've ever made from Amazon, ever. It is double lined, so it's not lined with some other kind of fabric. It's just this exact same fabric but twice. It is done so well actually that when I got dressed this morning, I put it on inside out, and I didn't know until I looked in the mirror on my way out. Had to come back in and turn it right side out. So when the weather, you know, next year when we get spring and summer, I'm getting these in a few more colors. Favorite apparel item that I've ever bought from Amazon. And I am wearing these pants, these purple organza pants that I made a part of my monthly sewing project in 2021. It was the month of May that I did, and I'll put some pictures up here so you can see. I just been out in the streets a little bit today, just a little bit. And so today is September 20th, so you know, the sun's out a little bit. Well, actually it was hot. It was real hot earlier today, like around 1 o'clock. It was very hot, you guys. The sun was pressing on my skin. You know, I can't handle that. I didn't have on any sunscreen. Anyway, that's not the point. At least you get to the point. The point is, I was dressed properly for the day, and I'm dressed properly to come here and talk to you guys. Also, last thing before we get into the March monthly sewing project, let me show you these earrings I got today. So I was not planning on being in the streets today, but since I went to a store called Ashley Stewart. It's usually for like sizes, I think 14 and up or 22 and up or something like that. But when I was in high school, one of my home girls, she would go shopping there all the time, and I would go with her, and I would, you know, pretty much stay in the jewelry section because I couldn't wear anything else. So I went back today with someone else who was shopping, and what did I do? I went to the earring section. Girl, look at these. They were sitting there waiting on me. I don't even know if there were, I think this may have been the last pair. I don't know. But they were waiting on me. They were waiting on me. Look at this. You know I'm a hoop girl. Look at these. How it goes from thin to thick. How shiny they are. Ooh. Y'all, ooh. Okay, and I got 2 pair. I meant to get 1, but they were 30% off, so God wanted me to get 2. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, look at these. Very cute. There we go. Very cute. Look at the shape, the thickness. So both of these were $12.50, but like I said, they were both 30% off. So instead of paying like almost $30, I paid 17 and some change. You better go to Ashley Stewart and get you some earrings. We are here today to break down the March monthly sewing project. March, which if you watched my February monthly sewing project talk through, you will know that March was supposed to be February and it was supposed to be red for Valentine's Day, right? But I ended up doing something else for February, and so I kind of scooted February onto March. So instead of making it red for Valentine's Day, I made it yellow for what, a pre-spring. Is March spring? Is March considered spring? I know April is spring. I don't know about March. I know it's not winter. I don't think so. Anyway, to me, I was like bringing spring and I was welcoming spring into my wardrobe, okay? I was not expecting March to turn out the way it did. I was expecting something, you know, cute, pretty. I was not expecting Drop Dead Gorgeous. I was not. I amazed myself. I was just like, this is cute. Now, it was short. It was very short. It was shorter than I planned on making it, but it worked. And I'm excited to wear it out. Somebody invite me somewhere. You guys invite me somewhere. Somewhere out of state. I live in Georgia. Invite me somewhere out of state so I could wear that dress. So for the month of March, I knew the style that I wanted. Like I said, I'd already had planned it for another month. And I knew the color that I wanted. So I wanted this very, very, very mini dress with a balloon skirt, long sleeves, and similar balloon design at the wrist. I knew I wanted that, and I knew I wanted it to be yellow. But the fabric, I wanted it to make a statement. I just didn't want it, I wanted it to be solid color but not boring. So I knew I needed some texture on that thing, okay? So where did I go? Of course I went to Move Fabrics. I'm aware that there are other fabric stores online and in store. I know, guys, but I went to Mood Fabrics, and I'm glad I did. So while surfing the interwebs of moodfabrics.com, I considered everything. I considered linen and pastels, but then that reminded me of Easter baskets. I looked at African prints and other color combinations that reminded me of like the continent, the motherland. I looked at that. I looked at large floral prints. I looked at small floral prints. I looked at fabrics with geometric and abstract shapes, and I even went through some kind of bumblebee phase. I did. And so I stopped looking for a couple of days because I was getting frustrated, and then I got an email from Mood Fabrics, and I said, okay, let me see what they have is new. It said new brocades in stock, multiple colors. So I said, okay. So I clicked on it, and there it was. So beautiful, at least on the website. And this was like mid-March now, so I didn't have time to order a swatch and really see if this was something that I wanted. So I took a chance, and that's not smart. I don't recommend taking a chance on $50 a yard fabric. Don't do that. Don't be like me. Don't do that. So I ordered 3 yards of metallic silver and lemon abstract luxury burnout brocade. So when I was looking at it, it said it was burnout. I never heard of burnout detail on fabric before. I was like, okay, I don't really know about this. Ugh. And if you shop on Move Fabrics, you know they'll have the different kinds of photos of the fabric, but they'll also have a video along with it. And I can't remember if there was a video with it or not, but no, I think there was. I think there was a video. And when the lady held, yes, there was a video, because when she held up the fabric, that's when I learned what the burnout was. So there are little spots throughout the fabric that give the look of, like, you know, something like burned fabric, but it's a design choice, and it was really, really cute. Now, one thing that almost deterred me from it was the burnout design on the fabric was silver. I'm a gold girl. I'm literally a golden girl. Silver? But I went with it because at this point it's March 18th, okay? So I ordered 3 yards of this fabric on March 18th and it arrived on March 26th. That's 8 days. That is great. And I got to work and I made it in 1 day. When I got it in the mail, I was a bit taken aback because this was my first time working with brocade. So when I opened it, of course, when you open something from Mood Fabrics or any other fabric store, I'm assuming, because I mostly shop at Mood, when they cut it and mail it to you, they mail it to you inside out so that the right side of the fabric is not scratching up against the packaging. So here I go opening the package and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm clutching my pearls, all of them, honey, because I open it and see the inside of the fabric. I see the wrong side and it's silver. It's silver with yellow accents. And I'm like, this is not what I ordered. Y'all, had a whole freak out moment. This is not what I ordered. I had no idea. And so it wasn't until I took it all the way out of the bag and I looked at it thinking I'm looking at the inside, flipped it over. Girl, it was just inside out. They were just looking out for me. They were just trying to protect my fabric. Thank you, Mood, for protecting my fabric. Y'all, I didn't know, but I know now. I know now. Let's talk about the pattern that I used to make the March monthly sewing project. It is Simplicity 8415. And now when I first had the idea of making this dress, I didn't really think about the pattern that I was going to use. I was just gonna kind of wing it. So I didn't go buy a specific pattern, or I didn't look up a video on how to make my own like pattern block for myself. I was just like, hey, I'll use whatever is in the drawer. And that was whatever was in the drawer. That was what I had that was the closest to a mini dress with something similar to a bubble hem. Not really, but you know, it's all the same. A pattern is a pattern is a pattern. It's all the same. So that's what I used to make it. I don't remember how much it cost because it was a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure you can still find it in Joann or Etsy or eBay or somewhere if you're interested in making this. I don't recommend buying a pattern to make this because it is very simple, very easy, especially if you've made a lot of easy dresses. Like this dress is just the front, darts, the back, darts, zipper, sleeve, and then I self-drafted the bubble detail on the sleeves, and then I self-drafted the bubble hem detail at the bottom of the dress. Don't go buy a pattern for this. Don't. Save your money. Okay, let's get into the garment construction. So I would consider myself an intermediate sewist. So while I had this pattern, I didn't really read the instructions. I just looked at the pieces and, you know, kind of figured what you do first, what you do second. Sew, press, sew, press, sew. I mean, it wasn't hard at all. Like I said, I cut out the front, the back, the facings for the neck, and the sleeves. So for the bubble details that I self-drafted, I'm going to give you the measurements in case you're interested. I got you. I'm always thinking about you. I got you. Okay, so for the bubble skirt, I did 18 inches by 148 inches. Yes, 18 inches, and then I folded that in half, and that was the bubble skirt. You know, pleated it a little bit. Let me be specific about this. I did pleats. I didn't gather it. I did pleats, okay? And I think that's what gave it so much volume. Oh, that and the fact that it was brocade, which is a pretty stiff structured fabric. Ooh, it was just so pretty. It was so pretty. And pleating the skirt was my second option. I was going to gather it, but this was my first time working with brocade, and I'd already planned on gathering it, but once I got it in the mail and I touched it, felt it, smelled it, hugged it, I said, I can't gather this. I can't gather this. Now maybe you can, maybe that's something you can do, but I'm not there yet. I was just trying to be so careful with this fabric. I was like, we can't gather this, honey. I mean, we can gather, but we can't gather. We can't do that. So yeah, pleats is what, and it turned out perfect. Okay, so moving on to the measurements for the sleeves. It was 14 inches by 80 inches. I did the same thing with that. You know, you just have 14 inches, just folded it in half, sewed it down so that's 7 inches long. So from here to my wrist, 7 inches of bubble loveliness on my wrist. So in my opinion, March was a very simple project, but I always think I'm doing simple projects, y'all. I really do. But I would recommend it as a beginner project, but with maybe another fabric. Not beginner with brocade, maybe, you know, choose another fabric. So if maybe intermediate, if you want to do a brocade, or if you want to do a denim or a corduroy, you know, some kind of heavy structure, maybe put some crinoline in there, something like that, to give it more shape, for the intermediate girls or the expert girls, if you want to do that. But if you're a beginner and you want to make this dress or a dress similar to this, switch up the fabric, because you're not going to like it, and it's not going to turn out the way you want it, because this fabric has no stretch. What? I said no stretch. One more time. No stretch. Okay? Choose a different fabric if you're a beginner. Now, without further ado, please enjoy the March monthly sewing project, Bumblebee. Easy, baby. Easy, baby. Easy, baby. Easy, baby. So now let's talk about what I've learned from making this dress. Number one, brocade fabric has zero stretch but holds shape like a dream. And I've been, you know, in fabric stores before, like Joann or something, and I've touched, you know, when you go to a fabric store, you can't help but touch everything. So I know, you know, different characteristics of brocade fabric, but man, that thing really has no stretch. It was almost too tight. So when I was cutting out the fabric, the pattern on top of the fabric, I had to be extremely strategic, because this is burn out fabric. Okay, which means there are places where people will be able to see your skin. Your skin is showing. So I couldn't have burnout right here. Okay, so when I had that the front bodice pattern, I was moving that thing around like where I even marked where the girls are, and I was just moving it around like, okay, can't go there, can't go there, and then I finally found the right spot. But let me tell you, I didn't do the same thing for the back, because I knew at that point I was gonna have to wear some flowers, some kind of pasties to cover the girls. So I did not have on a brassiere, did not have anything like that on. I just had the girls covered. But I can do that because, you know, I'm not working with a whole lot. Okay, so if you're going to do this, then consider the brassiere or whatever you're gonna wear to cover the girls. Keep the girls lifted if that's your thing. If not, then praise God. But just consider that, okay? Because if you do wear a bra, it's gonna show in the front and in the back. So maybe skin tone, brown girl friendly, or not. Number 2, long straight pins work best with long fingernails. So at this moment in time, I had long press-on nails, and I've never sewn anything with my nails being that long. And I went to the store and I got a little, what are those things called, like a little travel kit, and it had long straight pins in it. And so I was like, oh man, well, I said, oh, I have these straight pins somewhere in my arsenal, let me go get them. I had about 15 of those straight pins, and it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. So then on my next trip to the fabric store, you better believe I got a whole case of those things. I'm not a long fingernail press on acrylic gel whatever kind of girl, but just in case, you know. And I know you're probably thinking, Alicia, those straight pins probably damaged your fabric. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I know some girls are clip girls, and I know some girls are, you know, whatever, however else you know, want your fabric to stick to each other. I'm a straight pin girl, and I've never had any holes in any of my fabrics. But that's also because I keep them sharp. I keep them pretty lubricated, you know, like with the soap method or whatever. Like, so if I'm sticking it into a fabric and it won't go in, I'm not using that anymore. So maybe there are some fabrics that it won't work with. Maybe there are. I haven't encountered them yet, but I'm a straight pin girl. And if you have long nails, you need to be a long straight pin girl too, okay? Number 3, hand stitching is not easy with long fingernails. First of all, sewing in general, in my opinion, is not easy with long fingernails. Also, I'm not someone who has or wears or gets extensions on my nails often anyway, so it would automatically make it a bit harder for me. What did I have to hand stitch? Oh boy, I don't even remember what I was hand stitching, but y'all, it was a struggle. It was a struggle. Number 4, the color yellow is alluring to bees and wasps. So when I was outside downtown, you know, my little spot that I like to take my pictures and my videos, there was some kind of carnival going on downtown. And, you know, I had my little wall, I had my spot. I wasn't bothering nobody, no one was bothering me. You know, the people were looking and, you know, whatever, stuff like that, being people, but it was cool. Let me tell you what was bothering me. The wasps, the bees, they were chasing me, guys. I am so grateful that I was even able to get some photos and some video footage, because I was running. At one point I was crying. I was scared. I was terrified. I was like, oh my goodness, my face is gonna look like this, because I was afraid that I was gonna get stung. The color yellow, this bright yellow, just be aware of your surroundings. Maybe take some spray with you. I know we're in their habitat, but That was not the move. So when you invite me somewhere out of state, out of Georgia, so I could wear this dress, just make sure it's not being wasp season, okay? And number 5, lastly, I need a new sewing machine. So I made this on my niece's sewing machine. It's a Singer, like a simple Singer sewing machine. You can find it at Walmart, you can find it at Joann. But I did go get Old Faithful fixed. I got her fixed, my grandmother's sewing machine that she gave me in 2009 maybe. And she purchased it in 1967 or 76, one of those, and that's a Singer. So I've been using that for a very long time, and this year I just started using my niece's sewing machine. So I need my own machine. The one I'm looking at right now costs $1,200, so keep me in your prayers. But yeah, I need a new industrial machine that will fit on top of my sewing desk, because I gotta work with the room that I have, and so it can't be too big, can't take up too much room, but it needs to be effective and efficient. So that's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for joining me for the March monthly sewing project. As I'm recording it right now, I am so excited to be back here talking to the camera, knowing that I'm talking to you guys. Like, I'm so excited to edit it and really get this video out. It is a Friday evening, and hopefully I plan to have it up by either Sunday or Monday so we can enjoy this together. And again, I apologize for being gone so long, allegedly. Let me tell you something. Girl, follow me on Instagram at Alicia K Lifestyle, okay? And follow me on Pinterest at Alicia K Lifestyle, I think, okay? You can follow me on Facebook, but I'm not really on Facebook that much. Like, I post my monthly sewing projects, maybe something else here and there, but I'm not really on Facebook. But if you want to connect with me for real, like if you want to be my girl, follow me on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram. Now I plan to do more here on YouTube because I really enjoy the long form content, and as you can see, your girl can talk. I can hold a conversation, okay? But Instagram for me is where it's at, okay? Now I want you to have the best day ever, and thank you for spending time with me here at Alicia K Lifestyle. Bye.